Hey guys, how do you do? This is the Secret Gamer 32 here, and welcome back to Routhicx. It is episode 7 today, and if you're joining for the first time, then you're in for a little bit of a treat, but I would recommend going back and checking out the previous videos in this series. But for those that are returning viewers, thank you for stopping by once again. Thanks for making this a little spot that you chill with. I appreciate it. So in the last episode, a little bit of a recap. We worked some more on the wall here. We added that little pond down there, so if I can swing on down this way. We added this little pond here. I want to do some more work on it. A lot of this stuff, as I said before, is still very bare bones. We have our little bits of detail here. We have our dark oak mixed with our main like lighter oak. Add kind of like the water-soaked portions. We have a little boat here. We have some lily pads, some seaweed, but we need to add a bit more detail, a bit more stuff around here. Maybe I could try my hand at custom trees. I'm not sure, but kind of like I don't know. At the same time, you don't want it to be too secluded because realistically, this is a big gate to a city, so you don't want any places for people to hide out and such. But today's video, if you looked at the thumbnail, and if you looked at the title, is not really about landscape design today. It's more so about architectural building. And so, on that side, if you can tell, in the meantime between recordings of episodes, I've added some more lanterns here. I have pretty much taken out every single tree within here. I don't know if I want to really break down this fully or if I want to incorporate this part's height into some sort of grand entrance of some sort. I'm not quite sure yet. But yeah, every tree is gone. And then if you can see here, which you're probably wondering why I didn't allude to this first off, this is the other part of the wall. And so it goes all the way along here. We have one extra little gate here. Need to fill all that in. Where there are rivers, we have these little spots here. As you can see, it's all hollow in through here, but we might fix that later on. I've worked a tiny bit more on the mountain, just a little bit, whenever I got bored of placing blocks over here. Mountain. Anyways, filled this all in. I'd like to put some sort of watchtower here. That might be this episode. It might not be. But, we don't have to gather materials or anything. This is just placing blocks, breaking blocks. But today, if you can see, I left all of this open. I have left all of this open. And that is by design. Because what we're going to do is we're going to build a big little watchtower here. And that's the title of the episode. Starting watch, keeping watch. One of those. Maybe keeping watch. Need to still get rid of that. Sometime. But that is today's episode. So, without further ado, let us get into grabbing some materials. So, what we're going to need is pretty much what we have needed this whole series. I know I should add a little bit more detail and stuff, but we will have time to detail everything much more in the future. But today, it is simply placing blocks, placing blocks, placing blocks. So we're going to bring this all the way down this way. And, if we have trees that are, sitting right up against it and everything, that's fine. These walls, we can think of like lore or anything like that. Let's say these walls have been up for many, many centuries, and many things have grown up around them. in this time, and so this is just par for the course. And I messed it up. Okay. Wasn't looking around. Was not looking around. You know, the trees grow up around the walls, and yeah. We can have a little bit of imagination with it. Just need to remember where these all start and finish and everything. That's good, okay. But I want this episode to be maybe a little unedited. It'll still be edited, of course, but I don't want there to be too many breaks in the recording. Sometimes with these episodes, I just want it to be one singular project. Or two projects, but kind of record building them. Just to see, you know, how long it takes. If I am able to talk this long. Anyways, I hope you all are having a wonderful day. I do hope so. Hopefully your day's been good. Maybe it's been stressful. Maybe it's been a little messy. But you know what? You have to have those days sometimes. And even for a period of time. Helps you grow. Helps you see things differently. It is a good thing. It is a good thing to have troubles at times. But if your day's been wonderful and good, that's good. That's good. And hopefully you're finishing off your day, you've been busy and whatnot, maybe you're at work or at school, I don't know when you're watching this, what part of the world you're in. And you're just kicking back at the end of the day, and, you know, maybe you're a viewer of the channel, maybe this is your first time stopping by, you randomly, out of the, 5 million videos uploaded on YouTube every single day. I don't think that's counting shorts. You randomly got recommended this goofball's channel, and you're wondering what you're in for. And if that's the case, welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you enjoy your stay. I hope so. I want to get rid of this tree, though. This one has to go, because it is unrealistic that a tree will grow up in the literal middle of a wall. Like, just splits the concrete in half, you know? I mean, maybe. But if it grows out of a crack, but... Anyways. It takes a little bit. Sometimes builds try your patience in some ways. Like, this is not really trying my patience exactly. But sometimes you just need... Sometimes you just need to take a second and just start just doing something and just letting your mind wander at times, or wonder. You're just going about everything, enjoying it, building away. You throw some music on, something you like to listen to, maybe. Podcast, a sermon. I don't know. I don't know what you do. I found out that you can take the file for a Minecraft world on, like, PlayStation and throw it and actually put it onto computer. Now, I know there's an entire, like, file, I forget the word. but like where you're transforming a file from that is a Bedrock file into a Java file. But if you're just going Bedrock PlayStation to Bedrock computer, I found out that you can just transfer it right onto your computer. Like, as long as you get the file, just transfer it onto your computer. And so I don't know if I'll do that for this world or if I'll just keep it straight on the PlayStation. But I think it would be cool to even transfer this world over onto Java and be able to have it there, can put some maybe texture packs and whatnot, like at the end of the videos when we do our little cinematic flyover and everything of the build at the end of every episode. I think it would be cool to have that. Especially if we can add like distant horizons or something like that. That would be so cool. Maybe it would be a little bit of stress on my computer. Like, it's a good computer. It really is. Got it back in 2020, so some of the hardware might be, to really computer techie people, little outdated maybe. But hopefully it would hold up. I would hope so. But it would be just really cool once all this is done to be able to look at it from a better render distance. However, you have to be content in some things, and well, I'm content with it being on PlayStation. It's still cool. It tracks my progress on like how many hours I've spent on Minecraft, which is cool. Not individual worlds, which is sad, I know, on computer, like on my SG Plays Minecraft world, which I should get back to. I know on that world, I can see how much time I've actually spent in the world, and it would be really nice if they had that system on PlayStation as well, where I can look at time played on individual worlds. It would be so cool if I could do that. It would be extremely cool. I would enjoy that immensely. I was finishing up the building earlier, and I said to myself, you know what, I'll listen to one more song, one more short song, and then I'll record the video. And immediately a 22-minute long song comes on. So I'll listen to that once I'm finished the video. But, yeah, it was definitely something. It was definitely something seeing that there. Alrighty. So, you've been listening to me ramble, and in the meantime, we finished the walls. I am going to now fill all this in, and I'll be back for kind of making a copy of that. See you in a minute. That one I messed up as well. See, this is why a lot of YouTubers build and show you the results afterwards. I don't like doing that, though. Who am I trying to impress? I just have something I like. I'm wanting to show you it. That's it. Let us get this sorted here. And I think this is a little short. There we go. This is going to be a much larger lighthouse. Wrong phrase. Anyways, I want to build this a bit differently than the one previous. Because I physically can. And I want to. So, we will get this here. Doot. Doot. And so we will do the same thing on the other side. Oh, nope. I'll add a bit of depth as well in this. And so, I want to try to add some slabs in here as well. Just a few little slabs. I just want to see how this will go. How am I liking that? Am I liking that? Or am I not liking that? What do I think here? What? I hate how they become... I don't like how they become one solid block. Yeah. Yeah, I actually like that subtle incline. I like that subtle incline. Alright, I'm going to toy around with this a little bit more. And then... I broke something here. Did I break something else? I'm not sure. Alright, I'm going to toy around with this a little bit more. And I will get back to you guys in a few moments. Alrighty. I am back. And I have finished the roof. And I think it looks pretty cool. What do you guys think? I went for like that sladural scope. That gradual slope. That gradual bend. So I went for kind of like a slow, kind of gradual bend. It kind of almost looks like we're at the start of a circle. You know, has like a nice little, like a bridgy bend to it. I don't know, like a little rainbow or something. I like it. I think it looks really cool. We just need room for... I'm wondering if I want to put a chimney in here, or if I want to just simply leave it, right? Because you have all of this opening here. You don't exactly need to funnel the smoke out, but then at the same time, you might want to funnel the smoke because then it might all just pool up in here, but then you're not really... You'd probably be burning good wood, and so it wouldn't be too wet or damp, and so it probably wouldn't smoke too much. You get a nice clean burn, but you know what? They're trying to keep this burning all the time. And so, if we fly way over here to our old watchtower, the one we built, I don't know, 6 years ago, we can see at least a similar way to how we built it. And I'd like to build it the same way, because I do like how this looks. I do like how this looks. Actually, I built this before campfires were around. Did I put netherrack under? Did I put like netherrack or something underneath there? Or I have no idea. I don't even remember how I built that one. But we have campfires now, and so that alleviates a bit of our trouble. But the real question here is wondering how exactly I want to build this. So I'm just gonna take dirt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I'll go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think this room was even. whatever. And so, from here we'll go out here. We'll have it we'll have just a big bonfire. This is 1, 2, 3. Okay, stick drift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so we want to have this maybe 7 from there as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, okay. Exactly. That is quite surprising, actually. That is quite surprising that we got that right off the bat. Holy doodle. Alright. So, now we can fill this up here. And we're going to have to go for some campfires. Actually, I don't even need to search those in. I think I know where they are. I think I know where they are. It's only almost 10 o'clock at night. I think I know where they are. They're not there. Here. Maybe I've passed them already. Yep. Oh, that's a problem. And so we're just gonna add a whole lot of campfires. Leg my entire world. You know, good stuff. Good stuff. Leg the entire world. As I was saying earlier, if it gets too laggy, just take the file and throw it on the computer. I saw a really cool thing where people would do like stuff where they can put like their viewers like Minecraft avatars in game and such on like PC, and I thought that was so stinking cool. Alright, whoa. Hopefully it's not lagging for you guys. I think that looks pretty cool. That pretty dead center on there. Sitting forward a little bit. But now we need bars. Now we will need bars. And so we can go from the whole gambit here. But really we're just going to run iron bars. When I first made this world, we only had iron bars. Alright? This is an old world. This is an older world. And I think I just used the same slabs as well. Ah, well. I can always do some tweaking later here and there. That's all good. It's all good stuff here. So, my question is, do I want it just like this? Do I want it kind of like that, where it vents out that way? Or, and actually we can do this a bit better. If it looks good. If it doesn't look good, I'm just gonna kill the recording and come back when I've found something a bit nicer. But you know what, I like taking the time. Taking a moment or two. And that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see in there. Then we can do that again. And I think I like it how it was before. It's about like that. And I like how the sun's starting to set, because now we can see how cool it actually looks. So, we can wrap this around like that. And like that. I'm gonna put some more fire up there, because that would look cool. Wrap it all the way around. I don't know why I did that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Looks pretty cool. And then, I guess we can just fill that in like that. Make sure it's all working there. Mighty fine. If you guys think there's a better way of doing a little bonfire, let me know. I'm open to critiques. But I think that looks pretty cool. It's a big roaring fire. It's better than just flat, as we just did. And when we look at it from the village, big fire. Now we could also bring it up one more, but that would defeat the purpose of having this all here. Yeah, I think it looks okay. I might toy around with it later. But also... I love how the light source is going through the roof. That isn't right. But I think that looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna go do just a little bit more work here, and I'll see you all in a few moments. Alright, everybody. I am back. I did a little bit more work, and I know it looks a little bit different from the last recording, but this is what I have pretty much settled on. So, it's only 2 high. I think I had it 3 high and such. Oh. There's smoke popping out of there? No. Okay, maybe it just glitched for a second. So, we have a nice solid roof. No smoke is popping out the top. I wanted to have it like this high beforehand, but the smoke was just pooling out of the roof, and it just doesn't exactly look right. So, we have that there. We have this massive chimney. And then we have the smoke able to pop up through the roof here, but that's only because we have these little fireplaces. Right there, these little campfires. But yeah, so that is the build there. That is the build there. We pretty much kept it the same. We have all this on the outside. We ramp it up once, and twice, and 3 times, making a little 4 layers there. We got the first, the second, the third, and the fourth. And it gives a nice little lookout. You can watch for enemies. You can look out over at the mountains, which will be over there at some point, whenever I get to them. But I kind of like that. I kind of like how this looks. We need to bring these lanterns, these sea lanterns, all the way down, light up the walls, just like all over there, and then just continue to work. Continue to work on all this stuff. Yeah, there's the smoke there again. I'm not sure if it's just a glitch from far away or what in the world it is, but it's fine. See, all the smoke just stops in there, so you'd think that it would make its way up to the air vent and pop its way out of the roof. Just like that. And I still haven't destroyed this pillager tower yet, but it is what it is. However, when we look from different angles, when we look at the walls so far, I think it looks pretty nice. Should there be height variations with the wall? Should it look a bit different? Should I add more detail around them? That will all come later. I believe it will. However, everyone, if I can stand up here, I'd like to thank you all for checking out another episode. Let me try that one more time. Everyone, I would like to thank you for checking out another episode of Routhicx. I very much do appreciate everyone that still stops by, and I hope you will stop by in the future as well. Thank you for being a part of the channel. Thank you for checking out this series, and it's actually been doing pretty well, and I'm enjoying every episode I make. And so, guys, I thank you so much for watching. As always, verse of the day was at the start of the video, and you can read it for yourself in the description as well. And if you enjoyed the video and you know someone else that would enjoy it as well, be sure to send it over to them. And anyways, without keeping you guys too much longer, just remember to have fun, but be safe. And have peace. I'm out. Bye, guys.